my name is Tiffany Warner, and I am here to tell you about the person I admire most. And the person that I admire most, I know this is probably going to be really basic, but it's my mother. And a few reasons why I chose my mom was a single mom when I was growing up, and so things weren't easy. And then another reason I chose my mother was because when I was growing up, we went through some really tough times, which involved a lot of court cases, which were not easy on the family at all. And my mother has just always been so supportive of me. She's always cared about what I've done and wanted the best for me, and has done whatever she could to help me get there. So, like I said, my mom was a single mom. When I was one, my parents got divorced, and sadly my dad made a lot of bad choices. But I feel like that can kind of be really common between kids whose parents are divorced. Didn't see my dad much, maybe saw him a couple times a year, and so my mom was head of the household. My mom did so much for us, and I still can't understand how she did all of it. When I was growing up, she would always have childcare for us somehow, and she was always there to keep a roof over our heads, food on the table, and make our birthdays special even when we didn't have much. So honestly, she was just amazing. We never knew how tired she was, even though she'd come home from work late every day and still just have the energy to play with me and my sister. And being a single mother never affected her, not once. She was a trooper. When I was getting a little bit older, she got remarried, and she was happily married for a while, and that was great, but some things happened, and it involved her getting divorced, and we went through a few court cases. And with the court cases, when my mom first found out about what happened, I don't really want to get into details about that just because it's a little personal, but when my mom found out what happened, she did not once question me. She didn't assume I was lying, but basically we had to get a restraining order, and my mom was so supportive. She always made sure that I was safe. She knew where I was, and if I ever once felt uncomfortable with the court cases or anything, she was the first one there to be with me. And there were some times that got really scary, and some times where I just wasn't myself anymore, so I did need to get help, and she found a great psychiatrist for me, and she'd always check on me. Hey, how are you doing? Do you need food? What can I do for you to make you feel better? And so with those court cases, it was really difficult, but we got through it and we won, and it was just a great time for me and my family. But how my mom held so strong through all that, I can't even imagine. If I had kids, I would be devastated. And then with my mom, she's always so supportive. And when I graduated high school, she was like, okay, what are you going to do now? She helped me make out a game plan. She was like, okay, first you need a job. And once I graduated high school, my nephew was born. And I am mainly the primary caretaker for my nephew. So she was always like, okay, can I help with Jaden in any way? And what can I do to support you guys? And my mom was always like, if you need to work, I'll watch Jaden. I'll be there for you. So my mom has helped me so much with raising my nephew. And then when it came time to finally start college, she was like, okay, I know it's hard. You're 22 and college is expensive. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to map out the finances. And when I couldn't afford it, she was more than happy to help, which I'm so thankful for. My mom is not just a bank. She is a counselor. She is a best friend. And she has always been the person that is there for me. I honestly cannot say how much I love my mother just because there's just not enough words. My mom has always been so supportive, and I can't thank her enough. And she is just the most influential person in my life, and I hope I can be half the mom she is when I'm older. And she's a superhero. So that is my inspiring person, and I hope you enjoyed my speech. Bye!